Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the grand installment of MUTEvolution.com's Draft Countdown, brought to you by me, DarkAlpha. The Eagles had a huge free agency a couple years ago and were nicknamed the Dream Team, and they were supposed to win it all, but instead became one of the biggest disappointments in the entire NFL. Their defense couldn't generate any pass rush. They even released Jason Babin after a disappointing year. The secondary couldn't cover anybody as Brandon Boykin gets owned by Aaron Hernandez, one of the two deadly tight ends on the Patriots. Despite being filled with several big names on the defense, DRC, Nnamdi, Trent Cole, they couldn't do anything here on third down as Tom Brady huffs and puffs and walks into the end zone on me. There's been kind of a very sad pattern with the top, few picks all having amazing running backs. MJD, Charles, McFadden, McCoy. But they also had the emergence of a great second running back in Bryce Brown, who came in and took over for a few games after LaShawn McCoy suffered a concussion. This is critical for Chip Kelly's offense, which heavily relies on both running backs being subbed in and out consistently to keep them both fresh and ready to go throughout the year. After running it a couple times, Brent Selleck ends up being wide open, one of the most underrated tight ends in the league, makes a big touchdown for me. Now, after getting completely dominated in the slot by the receiver, I say screw it. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, we don't know what's going to happen to him. He could be a free agent. He could be franchise tagged or anywhere in between. I'm not afraid of Lloyd. I'm not afraid of Welker. He's only throwing to his tight ends. I'm going to say screw it. My best quarterback, I'm putting on one of the tight ends. I'm going to go back, use their cover, and this is what the Eagles need to do. Put their best players on the best positions. Because look at that. DRC in the position makes an incredible grab and gives me back the ball. This guy has proven he can't stop the run. I'm going to go back. I'm going to, bend him over and just pound away. With a couple sweet weaves in there, Shady McCoy gets me another touchdown. But every running back depends on their quarterback, and nobody really knows what's going on in Philly. The Eagles have stated they don't want to trade Nick Foles, they want to keep him, but nobody really knows why if they would bring Michael Vick back for a one-year contract when they plan on keeping Nick Foles. It seems that they're just trying to drive up the value for Andy Reid in Kansas City. The number 4 pick is going to be filled with a lot of different options. If Geno Smith slides, maybe Chip Kelly wants to go Geno Smith. If they release both Nnamdi and DRC or one or the other, they could make D. Milliner, the cornerback prospect from Alabama, the first cornerback taken at the top 4 since Charles Woodson was taken in 1998. Kind of ironic since Woodson was just released by the Packers the other day. Jason Peters, one of the best left tackles in football, ruptured his Achilles twice next year, and nobody knows he's come back and how he's going to perform. And Chip Kelly, as heavily relies on his offensive tackles who can do things out in space, will probably end up taking either Luke Joeckel out of Texas A&M or Eric Fisher out of Central Michigan. Fisher was once regarded as a fringe prospect, and after a great Senior Bowl and great performances, he just, oh my god, but watch Nnamdi just get owned, and then he showboats, and I am sick of Nnamdi Asomugha, and Philadelphia has to be too. He's not any good, he's probably going to be gone, he's way overpaid, he does a fake field goal here, remember that, now I have a 1-point lead, but he does the fake field goals. Bryce Brown, contributing plays, he overcommits to the outside, leaving the middle open, a little cutback, Shady McCoy's gone. Bryce Brown is going to be such a critical component in Chip Kelly's offense, allowing both of these running backs to maintain fresh and keep them explosive and ready to go. If they end up taking Joeckel or Fisher, it's going to allow Todd Herman to move back to guard his natural position and become one of the best guards in football again. Here, he's running Demps. I hate people that run Demps because he really shouldn't be coming out of the backfield. But the Eagles have a lot of holes here. Brandon Boykin gets dominated. I'm sick of Brandon Boykin. He's really hurting my team. Nobody really knows what Chip Kelly is going to do in the defense, though. If they go to 3-4, it's Star Lotulelei is going to be on the board. You really could use him. Here, Nnamdi gets owned again, strengthening the case for D. Milliner. But Star Lotulelei would be a great nose tackle if Chip Kelly wants to stay in the 3-4. If they want to stay in the 4-3, they could go elsewhere. They could go DeMonte Moore out of Texas A&M, the defensive end. They could go Jarvis Jones, the outside linebacker out of Georgia. It's really going to depend on the combine. It's going to see who's going to take huge explodes. If Ezekiel Anza explodes at the combine like everybody's expecting him to, it's going to be a very complicated choice for the Eagles, and really it's going to depend on what the first 3 picks ahead of them do. I'm going to talk about the Patriots for 2 seconds because this guy just lost it into what? It seems like triple coverage, and Gronk gets it, and oh my god, just ridiculous. Oh, and here's a 2-point conversion. I stop it, so now I'm ahead by 2 points. They probably need to do something about quarterback, though, because Michael Vick has regressed in a lot of his skills. He can't really run anymore. He's a turnover machine. They need something. And after running it to the outside, I'm just going to, this guy can't stop it. Shady McCoy is just too good, and I'm just going to keep shoving it down this kid's throat. And they really can't do anything because I have 2 running backs that can just, pound the ball, and I can keep them both fresh, and the defense gets tired. And here, I'm going to do a little screen pass because Shady McCoy is such a boss. He can catch everything. He had, around 20 touchdowns a couple of years ago before he got hurt. This guy is a machine. The Eagles need to feed him and Bryce Brown this whole season. Whoever they have at quarterback will not be a premier. They need to feed the running backs. And just look at them go. These running backs can be so critical for the future of Philadelphia. Here he tries a little halftime Hail Mary, throws it right to Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. I also have a video on DRC I'm going to shamelessly plug here. You should probably check it out. Allows DRC to heat up, which will allow me to make a critical play later in the game. Doesn't matter though, because here, LaShawn McCoy, after a couple plays by Bryce Brown, tiring out the defense, getting me the first down. You know, just both of these running backs, and then when they least expect it, I can always just do this. You know, it's 3rd and 13, and I do a little arm punt with a shot at the end zone, and he picks it off, but he doesn't go down. He goes out to like the 12. Not a big deal. You know, I'm up by 2 scores, 9 points, and I try to take a shot or get an arm punt. This year, it's an extremely confusing first few picks. You know, last year it was set in stone, you know, Luck, then Griffin. However, this year, nobody knows who the top quarterbacks are. Geno Smith, if you go number 1 overall, he could fall all the way to the 2nd round. You could say that about any quarterbacks. Anybody has a shot to be great, but it's going to be really hard for Chip Kelly to turn down Geno Smith if he's there. He's mobile. He's got a great arm. He's got huge potential. It seems like he'd be a perfect match for Chip Kelly and his mobile, explosive offense. Talking about Chip Kelly, nobody expected him to come out to the NFL this year. He flirted with a few teams, decided to go back to Oregon, and then Philadelphia came out, broke the bank, and gave him a huge contract, and now he's over there in Philadelphia. It's going to be great to see what he can do in the NFL, because the NFL is extremely conservative when they really shouldn't be. Punting on 4th and 1 on the 35, kicking a field goal on 4th and inches on the goal line. These are critical situations that they need to go for it and be aggressive and try to win the game. The stats say so, but coaches just ignore it because they don't want to be blamed for going against the grain. They need to be more like Belichick. They need to go for it. Here, I call man coverage on 4th and 8, and he gets the fake field goal for the touchdown. And he's going to do it again. I call man coverage again, and I guess, you know, I guess I screw up because I'm not supposed to call man coverage. From now on, I'm going to call zone. It's still extremely irritating, and I really hate this guy right now. But luckily, he can't stop the run. Shady McCoy breaking a tackle, getting it out for me. I need to drain the clock and get a score. And who better than hand it off to Bryce Brown and Shady McCoy? These two are beasts, something Philadelphia hasn't had in a long time. You know, great running backs and the ability to pound the ball. Andy Reid hated to run the ball. It's interesting to see if Chip Kelly plays with his strengths and gives these two as much as they can. With their great offensive linemen, especially if Peters comes back, and if they end up taking a tackle. 4th and 3, I'm not afraid to go for it because my running backs are at full strength, full speed, not tired. His defense is exhausted, and now I'm going to get the ball, and I'm going to go up by 8 points because my running backs are just amazing. Nobody really knows what's going to happen in Philadelphia next year. Fletcher Cox, where's he going to be in this new scheme? You didn't hear his name much during the season. It was kind of, you know, upsetting because he was taken in the top 10. Nobody knows what happens to him. I'm excited to see him next year because he had a lot of potential. And then remember what I was talking about earlier with Dominique heating up for creep plays? Here it is. I'm up by 1 score. DRC is going to go up, get me the ball. Everybody wants him. Everybody, all the beat writers in Philadelphia want to be franchise tagged. You know, a 1-year short contract. Prove what you got. Be the Pro Bowl that everybody expects you to be before we pay you big money. And after DRC seals it, he's going to quit out on I'm going to win. Hope you enjoyed this Eagles video. Coming up next, the Detroit Lions. Alright guys, see you next time.